Fighting this pandemic is costly, and by the time it's all over, most countries may have overshot their budget. The world is paying in money and lives. Jobs are being lost, economies are sinking. What happens when all of this ends? Here's what happens. Our governments will begin pouring millions to get back on track. And who's going to pay for it? People like you and me. We will end up footing the bill, the taxpayers. Here's something else that you must know. None of us would be able to cash a check from the party responsible, i.e. China. Which is why night after night on this show we've urged you to ask questions of the regime that facilitated this pandemic. Tonight I'm happy to share with you that our reportage has not just been glossed over. The voices to make China accountable are growing louder. In the United Kingdom, 15 senior leaders have written to the Boris Johnson government to demand a quote-unquote rethink and reset in relations with China. That's an important start. And these people include four former cabinet ministers and 11 Conservative MPs. These parliamentarians want the British government to seek accountability for China's non-compliance with international treaties. Their letter states, and I'm quoting, "Once the crisis has passed, we urge the government to rethink our wider relationship with China. Over time, we have allowed ourselves to grow dependent on China and have failed to take a strategic view of our economical needs." It goes on to state what we've been saying for the longest time. We cannot go through this shock again without being better prepared. So are these fears unfounded? Absolutely not. These parliamentarians have written to the British Prime Minister on the back of a major study. A study by the Henry Jackson Society. It's a British foreign policy think tank which says that there is evidence that China breached healthcare treaty responsibilities. This study is the first comprehensive investigation into the global economic impact of the coronavirus outbreak, and it is aptly titled, listen to this, Coronavirus Compensation, Assessing China's Potential Culpability and Avenues of Legal Response. This study states that the group of seven, the G7 countries, have been hit by a $4 trillion bill, a bill which could have been avoided had Beijing been honest. As for Britain, it says that the damages stand at $449 billion, an amount which they say China ought to pay the UK back. It offers legal avenues too, and they include bringing a case at the Permanent Court of Arbitration at The Hague or going to the ICJ, the International Court of Justice. But on what basis can the world hold China accountable? That's a question that many have not been able to answer. Now let me list the number of violations by China in accordance with international laws. Which laws has China violated? Article 6 of the WHO's International Health Regulations 2005, not notifying the WHO of a public health emergency. It's a violation. China concealed the gravity of the situation when the first cases emerged. Article 7 of the Regulations for Untimely Information Sharing. China initially lied about human-to-human transmission. Article 64 for not providing timely epidemiological reports. How China did not periodically inform WHO about the alarming level of the spread of this virus. And Article 37 of the WHO Constitution, not respecting the international character of the Director General and staff and seeking to influence them. And this one's very serious and self-explanatory. Dr. Tedros, the Director General of the WHO, delayed in announcing a globalized public health emergency. We've done countless reports on this, on his complicity and Beijing's influence on the World Health Body. Well, these allegations form an excellent list of legal remedies which can be pursued at the International Court. Together, the world can get China on the table and discuss their actions if only our leaders showed the political will to make China pay.